Tell me about the theatre club, please.
Well, the Theatre Club has been established since 1946, believe it or not, when it was set up by the people of Bristol. It was a massively popular event when the Old Vic in London moved to Bristol, set up the Bristol Old Vic Company just after Second World War. And the people of Bristol responded tremendously positively and set up a volunteer-run independent club to support the theatre, and then by extension the theatre school, which of course at one time was also associated very closely and still is in different ways with the theatre. So we've been running for 72 plus years. We have a very, very active programme of theatre related activities. We encourage, promote, support theatre, not only at theatre schools, I've already been talking about, but very much at Bristol Old Vic, and also take an interest in theatre across the city in other venues, such as the wonderful Wardrobe Theatre and Tobacco Factory theatres.
The Theatre Club was the first club of its kind. It spawned clubs up and down the country that emulated this model, many of which have since closed. And also in America, future artistic directors of Bristol Old Vic travelled up and down America, talk about this in the archives through letters, talking about the Bristol Old Vic Theatre Club and how, say, a theatre in Texas might set up a similar kind of club. Grassroots support. This is a time now when theatres up and down, all over the world really, and arts institutions are clamouring for that loyal, continued grassroots support. And here in Bristol, we have a model of probably the most significant such initiative, historically, certainly of its time, and continuing today. I think that's quite an achievement.
I was quite inspired by Jane Eyre that was here, and there was one song in that was a cover of a contemporary song they did in a different way, and that really made me think. And there's a song called Every Breath You Take by Sting and the Police, and it fit perfectly when we were looking at the scripts how the sheriff was feeling about Marion in that way, and I thought if I changed it slightly it would really lend itself to the show. And anyway, I'll just play a verse and a chorus from it. But every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every game you fake, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you say, every night you stray, every game you play, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? My poor heart aches with every breath you take.
Why do you think people should go to the theatre, Jude?
You can go for a myriad of reasons. You can go to be entertained, to be provoked, to escape. I feel like theatre, like most other public things, is quite communal. It's a bit of a communion. It's a moment where you and I look at each other and we acknowledge that we're in this space together. And for a period of 1 or 2, 3, however many hours, hopefully not too long, we acknowledge each other and we say, I'm thinking this and I'd like you to think that. And there's something really quite cathartic, quite sharing and caring about that. And sometimes you might completely disagree with everything you've just seen and heard, but that's also fine. We've just admitted that we spent time together and we've shared something, and that's something really beautiful about theatre, live performance.
Time to hide away, hide behind the hood, wading through the river and running through the wood. Fight for what is right and fight for all that is good. Learn from all the things that you have never understood. Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away. Journey through the dell to find yourself again, chasing all the shadows that whisper through the glen. Listen to the broken call of all your fellow men. If you're running anywhere, then run back home to them. Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away.
I wondered if each of you could give us a flavour of some of the highlights of what I now realise is probably 60 years or so between you.
Well, what I love about being an actor and director is you never know what's coming next. So, my journey, like a lot of people in the arts, is completely random. Last year, I was a Messiah. Next year, I'm here at the old beat the elephant man.
So this one is a Merry Men song when they're sort of making merry and they've just stolen the gold back from the sheriff. A thief's best friend are luck and speed, quick cunning and great stealth. But ale can cause them all to flee and cheat him of his wealth. But add to this a drunken dare to steal a lock of maiden's hair. And even fools should worry for their health. A prudent thief should never drink so much that he turns bold, because a man who boasts and brags won't live till he grows old. For silence is a thief's best bet, and if he breaks this etiquette, he will get the trouble, not the gold. Not the gold, not the gold, not the gold. Not the gold, not the gold. Not the gold, not the gold, not the gold. Not the gold, not the gold. A cocky lad had hatched a plan in a drunken foolish state. He ran in shadows past the guards and through the palace gate, and laughing as he scaled the wall, so drunk he thought he could not fall, but sure enough he fell down to his fate. There was a man of betting craft, or so the stories told. He could cause the sharpest man with the finest hand to fold. But one night in drunken revelry he made a bet in prideful glee, and 'twas the drink that stripped him of his gold. Of his gold, 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 of his gold.
How do you see the difference between stage and screen acting?
If you're screen acting, then the performance lives in your eyes and in the space of thought. The camera can read what you're thinking, whereas somebody 10 rows back is not going to be able to read a subtle flicker of your eyes. So you have to essentially act on the line and say things with a specific intensity. I use like actioning as a school of thought where you're always trying to do something to somebody else with a line that you're doing. So it might be like, I antagonize you, or I agitate you, or I warm you, I console you. So the way that you say the line of text in theatre is audible, let's say, the emotion that you're giving to another person is.
I would say also with TV and film, yeah, you're working with this kind of a frame, so that's your space, and knowing what the shot is. And then it's very much to do in post-production with the editor and how they can completely manipulate your performance and the story. They're the ones that are making the story. Whereas theatre, this is our frame, the whole proscenium arch, and we have a bit more control, I would say, in terms of how the story is being delivered, because it's there happening in front of you. And there's much more of a kind of relationship with the audience. The audience is the fifth character in the play, if you see what I mean. They're quite different techniques.
Welcome. You are very, very welcome here tonight and every day. This is your building. You can spend this evening exploring it to your heart's content. It's all open for you to wander around and have a look at the glorious, beautiful new spaces that we've created. But before we get going, this is absolutely the moment to say thank you. I want to thank really the people of this city, because this building belongs to them, it belongs to you. And since Tom and I arrived back in 2009, we have sensed the immense care of this city for this building. The people of Bristol have cherished Bristol in a way that has continuously spurred us on with the endeavour of trying to raise money and finish this building. And of course we couldn't quite invite the whole city to come tonight, but this building is for them, and this evening the city is represented by 50 people who, through our partners with the Bristol Coast, with Ujima, have won tickets to come and join the party this evening. So thank you for coming. You represent the city, and it's very, very important to us that you're here. With that in mind, I will pass over to Tom to begin the proceedings.
Okay, so as Emma said, this is your theatre. This theatre belongs to the people of Bristol, and surprisingly, even from when it was first built in 1766, it was built to entertain everyone from every part of Bristol, from every background. People may not know that. The first architectural alteration made to the city was made in 1800, when 500 new seats were built in the attic, which is still our gallery. 500 people they crammed in there, and they were the cheapest seats. We know from its very earliest days this theatre has entertained and welcomed everyone. We are going to open these shutters, which you will notice on the front of the building. You may notice there are words on them. There are 2 poems in the shutters, and this is very important for us in terms of what we're trying to do. One of the poems is written by David Garrick, and it was performed on the stage behind me when the theatre was opened in May 1766. And it's an extraordinary poem all about the connection between entertainment and commerce. Interleaved with that poem, you will see another poem by Miles Chambers, Bristol's first poet laureate. And his poem is about the importance of inclusion in this city, and ends with the extraordinary words, "I belong here."
So this comes at the end of the show. Under the greenwood tree, a green and hooded stranger came for me. Throw off your sorrows and rise to meet the dawn. The legend and the hero will be born. Which way will you turn to when all your battles are won? Will you stay to make a life, or will you run? Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away.